Welcome, scholars. We are going to work on adding decimals today. Today you see a different screen. I'm not doing it in my notebook, so you're going to work on how to take notes when I do some other sort of screen and you have your notebook. So at the top you're still going to write the title. So if you have your notebook page, let's see if I have a notebook page here, right here. So I'll change to this one. Okay. So I am going to write oops, I gotta switch to my pen. Hold on, I'm learning. This is new for me. Use black. Okay, so adding decimals. And remember, we're always going to put the date. So you're going to add the date. And that's going to go at the top of your page, adding decimals. Okay, so we're going to talk about a few things. So let me first give us an example problem. What if we have 8/10 plus 25/100? So first of all, when we are adding with decimals, we do not want to add long ways. We want to stack them. So when we stack them, oops, we have 8/10, and when I write my 25/100, I have to make sure that I am lining up the decimals here. So I am going to do 0 and 25/100, and that is an addition problem. So you can see here how I have the decimals lined up, and now I'm going to add. So there's nothing here. I'm going to put a 0 there, and that is called annexing a 0. So I'm going to annex a 0 right there so that I'm filling in that place value. And then I'm going to just add by my place values. So I start in the hundredths, which is on the right, and 0 plus 5 is 5. And then I move over. 8 plus 2 is 10. So I put my 0, carry my 1. Then I bring down that decimal. So these decimals are going to come straight down. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So my final answer would be 1 and 5/100 would be my final answer here. Let's try another one. I'm turning my page. You still have room on your notebook, so you're going to leave it. So let's do 2 and 3/100 plus 6/10. So this time we have it like that again. So this time I'm going to write 2, and I'm going to write my decimals in red this time. Oops. 2 and 3/100 plus. Remember that my job is to line up the decimals. So that's going to be my decimal in red. And 6/10. And I'm going to add that. Again, I have an open place in my problem, so I am going to annex that 0. So I'm going to annex the 0 there, and then I can add. 3 plus 0 is 3. 0 plus 6 is 6. Decimal plus decimal is a decimal, and 2 plus 0 is 2. Okay. This time, you're going to try one and see how you do. So let's see, I have 14 and 7/10 plus 25/100. Okay, there is your problem, 14 and 7/10 plus 3 and 25/100. So pause the video and then solve your problem and see how you do. Okay, go ahead and pause. All right, welcome back, scholars. Let's see how you did on that problem. So I would first have to turn this problem vertically. So I would do 14 and 7/10 plus 3 and 25/100. Okay, and then I would want to annex my 0 and then do my addition. So 0 plus 5 is 5, 7 plus 2 is 9, decimal plus decimal is decimal, 4 plus 3 is 7, and 1 plus nothing is 1. And that would give me the answer of 17 and 95 hundredths. Hopefully you got that right. Okay, I'm going to show you one more example. And it's just going to be a subtraction example, so you can see that subtraction and addition when it comes to decimals works very similarly. So let's say I have 25 and 7/10 minus 3 and 14 hundredths. So first thing I'm going to do is rewrite that vertically. So 25 and 7/10, take away 3 and 14 hundredths. So we have that blank spot again. We need to annex our 0 into that spot. So let's annex that 0. There we go. And then we can do our subtraction. So 0 take away 4, I cannot do. I have to cross that out and borrow here, and that becomes a 10. And 10 take away 4 is 6. 6 take away 1 is 5. Decimal take away decimal is a decimal. 5 take away 3 is 2. And 2 take away nothing is 2. And I would end up with 22 and 56 hundredths. So that is your subtraction method. So let's do one more while you do it. Let's say you have 7 and 56 hundredths minus 237 thousandths. And you're going to subtract those. So go ahead and pause your video and see how you do. So pause and solve the problem. Okay, welcome back. Let's see how you do. So 7 and, oops, here we go, 56 hundredths, take away 0 and 237 thousandths. Notice how I always line up that decimal. Here we are again. I have to annex that 0 to solve this problem. So let me annex that 0 in there. Notice when we annex a 0 in our top number, we always have to borrow, right? Because we can't take anything away from 0. So let's borrow. That becomes a 5. And that's a 10. 10 take away 7 is 3. 5 take away 3 is 2. 5 take away 2 is 3. There's my decimals that are lined up. 0 take away 0 is, I'm sorry, decimal take away decimal is a decimal. And 7 take away 0 is 7. Okay, so remember, we always line up our decimals whether we are adding or subtracting. Okay, I'll see you soon.